Okay, so we finished blowing this up. The valve is closed. Let's pop that back on. Now the firmness is very, very important. It's important that the bubble is not too soft, nor is it too hard. If it's too soft, what will happen is people are strapped into these bubbles. It's like wearing a backpack on their tummy. So if it's too soft, when they go upside down, the bubble can sink. And if they're not strapped on well enough, they could hit their head on the ground. So you want to avoid that at all costs. So you've got to make sure that the bubble is nice and firm and the straps are on nice and firmly. As you can see, the straps can be adjusted from this end. So this is the correct side to get in. It's the adjustable end. The other side, the non-adjustable end, is the incorrect side to get in. If the player gets in from this side here, where they can't adjust the bubble, their head's going to be sticking out of the bubble. Again, we want to avoid that as well, because when they get hit or they get a bump and they fall over and roll, if their head is sticking out, it's going to hit the ground. So you want to avoid that at all costs as well. It's a good idea to have the straps adjusted. The average person, about this long, so they just get, it's a matter of putting one arm through here, one arm through there, getting all the way in, and then holding those handles. Now, these bubbles are consumable items, right? They will tend to oxidize after a long time, depending on how well they're being used. They will get old, they get scratches on them, they'll get punctures in them sometimes if you play on rough surfaces where there's twigs and branches and things like that. That can easily be repaired. However, rips cannot be repaired. So if you run into something that's going to rip the bubble, for a good 15-20 centimeters or 30 centimeters, it's very, very difficult to repair that. So you just got to avoid the bubbles from getting ripped. Each time, so you blow the bubble up, it's a good idea to check the straps. Now these straps are very, very firm. Now they've been stitched on, very, very strong. Very, very difficult for these straps to be ripped off. Once upon a time, the older bubbles, they used to not use stitches. They'd have this stuck on, and every now and then would get straps broken off. It's not the case anymore. They're very firm, and it's important. So if a player is playing and they're blocking each other about, and you know the harness snaps off, that is a potential hazard. So make sure, after a while especially, if there's been very physical games, check to see that when you're blowing these bubbles up, just make sure to see if these straps, the harnesses are nice, they're not loose or they're not in danger of snapping off. And the handles, again, now these bubbles have been, we've been working on them for years now. So this is pretty much, at the moment, we like to say that this is the perfect bubble. So that's pretty much it with the actual bubble. So get the person in there. They are very light, so it means players can maneuver in them easier, and it's less stress on the body. So light bubble is very important, and these are probably one of the lightest bubbles you can find on the market. Very lightweight material and sturdy as well. But they are fragile, so you need to be careful playing on rough surfaces. We always prefer grass or soft surfaces. Gym mats, if you've got gym mats, the jigsaw mats work really well. If you need to play indoors, just be very careful. Hard surfaces, you know, maybe getting on knee pads for extra protection is important. And just one more thing with the blowing it up, make sure it's firm but not too firm. You don't want it you don't want to overblow it, because if you overblow this, plastic material is going to stretch and the bubble's going to become larger than what it is, and it will start to show signs of deformity. So that's about it with the bubble. Thank you for watching.